And I want to introduce our guests. We've got Alka Acharya, G. Balachandran, we've got KC Singh joining us this morning to discuss the big meeting between Prime Minister Modi and his Chinese counterpart. Why, Mr. KC Singh, do you believe the Chinese army has so far not agreed to a flag meeting? This is usually normal practice. This is how they're able to resolve disputes. That hasn't happened so far. And the meeting that happened yesterday was inconclusive. Why would that be, sir?
Look, to say that this is a normal activity and this will be resolved through normal channels it defies logic. Because with President Xi there, they could have done it before, they could have done it later. They could have, as a concession, accepted the flag meeting and quickly resolved it and said mechanisms are working. Are the Chinese looking for a new mechanism? Are they looking to, is President Xi saying that, look, the border issue is for us to control, we are there in a more dominant position, don't join Japan, don't join US, don't go into any alliance. You want to deal with me, I'll bring the money to India, but on your border issue, on your security issue, your neighbors with whom I'm dealing, you have to talk to me. You don't get into an alliance. Is he sending a signal? And by sending such a signal publicly, is he weakening Prime Minister Modi's sentiments in India and therefore diminishes Modi's ability to market this as a very benign Chinese administration that we can do business with?
And the reality, Alka Acharya, of Prime Minister Modi's co-constituency has been they would like to see PM Modi being firmer on China than Manmohan Singh. That's the promise he made, that's the promise that got elected to power. He can't now change tack just because he's in government.
No, but I really don't see where is he being weak. I mean, the question is what would have demonstrated a show of strength at a point when the two leaders are meeting and discussing. Now, the latest news is that we have also sent troops to the place where the Chinese forces have intruded. Now, that's the answer you give. That's the way in which you handle that. Okay, there is something has happened at the border, you send your troops to investigate. Now, why do you want that the talks should be derailed or that somehow the Prime Minister should make a big statement when the focus of the meeting and the discussion is about a whole range of issues? Now, we also have to keep in mind that the NSA, who went on a recce before the visit happened, made a statement that there is likely to be an orbital shift in the whole boundary problem. Now, why don't we just wait and see what is the kind of newsstand or what is the kind of breakthrough, whether there is any breakthrough at all, which is likely to come about, and then decide whether this new government is being weak or pusillanimous or compromising. Or so I think somewhere we need to be focused on the essentials, to see the broader picture, to see things in the way in which they evolve.
Okay, I want quick reactions on what the Dalai Lama just said, starting first from KC Singh.
Well, there have been reports that actually President Xi has reached out to Dalai Lama's representatives and there were some talks. We've seen these talks in the past, but they have not been very fruitful. He was very careful. He first dissociated himself from this by saying that he is no longer in politics and he is retired from it. But they're very wise comments because he's saying China needs to learn from India's management of diversity and that the only solution is to realize that these are historic borders between, and he went back to the 1950 treaty, indirectly hinting that these are actually Tibet's borders with India and therefore it is not just the Chinese border with India, and saying that it has to be handled peacefully. I think it's a typical Dalai Lama fantastic message.
Updates coming in from Chumar that reinforcements from the army and the ITBP have been rushed there. The face-off though is still on. The army is awaiting a response on its request for a flag meeting to defuse the situation. Why was yesterday's flag meeting inconclusive? How serious is the latest incursion? And how many troops have been sent so far? What kind of troops, Shiv?
Rahul, the situation escalated yesterday when a second front was opened in the Chumor area, just about 2 to 3 kilometers from where the existing, civilian standoff is taking place. Now, we've been given to understand that about 2 battalions worth have been rushed from the 14 Corps area to Chumor. They arrived a short while ago. These are apparently a mix of army as well as ITBP troops. But I've just been told that the situation is not tense, as tense as some quarters have been making it sound. They're about 600 meters apart, clearly visible to each other. Apparently, a request has been sent for some kind of a flag meeting, which may take place either today or tomorrow. But it is a face-off situation. It's an eyeball-to-eyeball situation.
What are the people that you're speaking to, Shiv, in the armed forces making of the timing of this incursion? A deep incursion being called the most serious incursion in the last several years, taking place at a time that the Chinese president is here. Is this a message that Beijing is sending to New Delhi?
Undoubtedly, Rahul. In fact, even yesterday afternoon, when President Xi had arrived, we were in touch with the army, and they had said that it's very likely that a second front would open up. And just a few hours later, that's precisely what happened. It was more serious than they had initially supposed, because this was about 1,000 China border regiment troops, not PLA troops, would actually come in. A very serious incident, nevertheless, like you rightly pointed out, compared to what has happened in the last few years, but not surprising at all, because the army said that it's likely that front door diplomacy is always supported by some kind of provocation from the other side. I've spoken to even KC Singh had said yesterday that it's likely that provocations of this kind will happen in tandem with what's happening in terms of the cordiality of the Modi-Xi meetings in Delhi and Ahmedabad. So in that sense, not surprising at all. It's happened in the past as well. When the foreign minister of China had come in May this year during the visit, during the swearing-in ceremony, remember, there were provocations happening at that time as well near the Spangor Gap. So in that sense, our sources in the army telling us that they haven't been caught off guard at all. They've got forces just 15 kilometers away, which they've been able to divert to that particular area. So it's nothing to worry about in that sense, but it's definitely a message from China. It's a pressure tactic.
Okay, the meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping has just gotten over. It went on for about an hour and a half instead of the expected half hour. We're told by sources in the Ministry of External Affairs that India, and these are the words I'm using, emphatically took up the border transgression issue. A statement is likely shortly. Is this just what India is actually putting out, KC Singh, or is this the manner in which Modi would have also taken up this issue with the Chinese?
Well, they would have certainly on one-on-one it would have been mentioned, or indirectly it would have been conveyed, because don't forget, everybody is there. NSAs are there, top-level people, a foreign secretary, etc., foreign ministers there. They would have taken them aside and told them, and then up the food chain it travels within the system. I don't think at the highest level they would, other than convey their intent down and saying resolve it. One resolution can be, it's possible that we really give a very good spin to this visit. Suddenly we find a resolution by the evening. It is quite possible.
Yes.
Which will be a very good development, that the two leaders are met and they are capable of handling this. Existing agreements and arrangements are capable of handling this, and that it shows that it's a top-down intent.
General Shankar Prasad, would you share KC Singh's assessment that if by the evening the incursion is taken back and the Chinese army moves back to its original position, that would send a good message, would give Modi something to take back to his constituency?
Nobody knows.
No. Last year.
General Shankar Prasad? Give me a moment as I try and fix that audio connection with General Prasad. We've got these images also of the Tibetan protest right outside Hyderabad House, which took place and caught everyone by surprise, most of all the Delhi police, which wasn't anticipating that women protesters sitting in auto rickshaws would sneak in right outside the boundary of Hyderabad House, embarrassing the Delhi police personnel who were involved in the security bandobast. But these women came in, they made their point, but Alka Acharya, the Dalai Lama, not a fraction as emphatic in his statements as these young Tibetan protesters.
Well, if you look at what the Dalai Lama is trying to hopefully achieve in his lifetime, he is not about to muddy the waters in connection with something that is now become routine with every president's or prime minister's or any high level visit from China to India. I think the Dalai Lama has been a very shrewd and very canny politician in the way in which he has managed his very, very delicate situation between China and India. He does not want to displease or create problems for the Indians. After all, they are staying on Indian territory and there are 100 million of them. And on the other hand, spoil the negotiations that are going on with the Chinese, because that is to do with the future of Tibet, and he certainly would like something tangible come out in his lifetime.
I want to
So
go across to General Shankar Prasad. He's now joining us. General Prasad, if the incursion was reversed and the Chinese troops were to fall back to their original positions, would that give Prime Minister Modi something to tell his constituents that, see, there was a problem, but I met the president and I resolved it?
Well, you see, this engagement cannot last for too long. Whether the disengagement takes place this evening or tomorrow morning, it is bound to happen. I don't see any escalation. I don't see any situation where the situation can get worse and some exchange of fire takes place. This is only happening as a show of the line up to which the Chinese wish to claim. While both
But
sides
why would they wish to make this point, in your view, looked at from a military perspective, General? Why would they wish to make this point at a time when the Chinese president is in India?
Well, that's amazing. In fact, indeed, it's very amazing. If you know, Rahul, there are over 300 to 400 such intrusions every year, and for this to happen right when such fantastic economic negotiations are taking place, well, it is a bit surprising. But maybe somewhere the Chinese wish to send a message saying that border situation continues to remain hot and the border demarcation is still nowhere in sight. So it's a very complex situation. To take a stand today is going to be very difficult for either me or for anybody else with authority. But yes, one thing I can say, at least that's what I feel, that the talks will go on, the agenda for the economic cooperation will continue.
Stay with us, General. We've got these images coming out to us from inside Hyderabad House. The Prime Minister introducing people of his delegation. Let's just listen for a moment and pick up the audio if you can.
It's just begun.
The official talks between India and China have been completed. Signing of key agreements will happen at 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. The talks went on for about an hour and a half. Let's see if we can pick up the English translation.
Cut to that part. थोड़ा जोर से करो तो at least can get a sense of what is happening.
I don't think the audio is very good in that.
Yeah, this is the Hyderabad conference room.
Forces in an increasingly multipolar world, both China and India are in a common stride towards realizing our goals of national rejuvenation. And in the 21st century world, China and India are fully capable of partnering with each other for common development. I stand ready to work with you, Mr. Prime Minister, to be strong advocates and practitioners of friendly and cooperative relations between China and India.
These are images of the delegation level meetings between the Chinese head of state and the Indian Prime Minister who led the Indian delegation. From the body language that we're seeing, what are you making of the manner in which these talks would have gone, given especially, Mr. K.C. Singh, the personal chemistry between Modi and the Chinese president? How much of a difference can that make in a meeting like this?
Look, the personal chemistry can be overstated. It plays a role, maybe reduces the friction, opens up the possibility of a top-down instruction if they find that the bureaucracies are creating a problem. But when there's a fundamental issue, then the chemistry can only go that far. You remember the famous remark of President Bush. He looked into the eyes of Putin and found a very pure spirit. And you see how the relationship between West and Putin is now.
Correct.
So these things can make wonderful photo opportunities. They're very good during the visit, but ultimately strategic fundamentals will dominate unless the two leaders decide that it is in their interests and the interests of their nations to break some molds then it is a shared wish. But it is not simply because they like each other. They'll do something which they perceive as not in their country's interest.
That's interesting. The fact that you make this point, that because they have a personal equation, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will impact the way their foreign office calibrates talks with that country. Will we, in your view, Mr. Balachandran, see the appointment of new special representatives to take forward the border talks?
I think we will. Look, the border talks will have to go on. Whether it gets resolved is another matter. But secondly, look, they are meeting for 1.5 hours. They have got a whole lot of issues to discuss. We discussed only the border issue 1.5 hours. If they do that at the meeting, both Prime Ministers say, what the hell are we doing here? So let's say that this will be resolved, the field meeting will take place, and you can't tell him what message you are sending. He'll say, look, I'm not sending you any message. He may be, but he'll say, I'm not sending any message.
Gaurav Sawant is joining us. He's got a live update on the meetings between the Indian delegation and the Chinese delegation. Gaurav, what are your sources in the MEA telling you?
Rahul, the scheduled 30-minute meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping went on for over an hour and a half. And from what sources are telling us, all substantive issues were taken. The recent incursion was emphatically taken up with the Chinese. Now we're still waiting for the delegation level talks. After the one-on-one, the delegation level talks have now started. So that statement that was supposed to be made at 12:30, and we are all in that statement room in the Hyderabad house, that statement is delayed because the delegation level talks have now started. How long will this last? We still do not know. But from all indications from the government, the issue of Chinese incursion, transgression is the term that sources are using, Chinese transgression along the LAC was emphatically taken up.
What does that mean? You mentioned the fact that there is a transgression. Is it India's case that they want President Xi Jinping to get his forces to back off immediately before he heads out of Indian soil? Or is it that they're pressing for a long-term solution to this problem?
From what sources have indicated, they are not insisting on tactical level withdrawal just as yet. This is not the aim. The aim is to ensure it does not happen again, or should it happen till the time the boundary issue is sorted out, it should not last this long. This is what sources seem to indicate, that this operation, this exercise is not to ensure tactical level withdrawal
no,
of
but
Chinese
as K.C.
troops
Singh points out, Gaurav, this is exactly the agreement
2013
that
agreement.
India and China have already reached.
Last year when PM went to Beijing.
Was signed in Beijing when then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had visited China, and we had accompanied him on that trip. That time it had hoped that there would be a mechanism in place to ensure that the tension does not flare up should there be a transgression. This exercise is to ensure that if that system needs to be tweaked because it hasn't delivered or hasn't delivered satisfactorily, how does it need to be tweaked? That is now being decided, because whatever agreement was in place so far, from what sources indicate, it hasn't delivered. So that is why whatever tweaking is required will now take place.
No, but the agreement is clear and it is simple. It hasn't worked, and that's the problem. We will go back to Gaurav. We need to take a quick break. We'll be back and we'll continue. Delegation level talks have begun. This will go on till 1:30. 1:30 is when the big signings will happen, and we will see the much awaited joint declaration which will have details about what is it that India and China have agreed to under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi and the Chinese President.